Welcome to Weight Loss and Wellness for Real, the podcast where people like you get the practical solutions and support you need to permanently lose the physical and mental weight so you can feel better and live the life you want in the body and mind you want. If you're looking to overcome your stress eating, overeating, binging behaviors, and move to a place of freedom with food and your body, you're in the right place. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today and listening. Today's topic is one that's just really been on my mind a lot lately, mainly because there seems to be a theme with clients around this topic right now, and always kind of has been, but never feeling good enough, never feeling like they're good enough to belong, not feeling worthy of anything good in their lives. And because of these conversations, I'm always trying to get people to understand why they want to do the work to like themselves, to love themselves. And these days, this idea of love yourself is all over the place. But have you ever had someone really explain to you why you want to love yourself? I mean, feels good, obviously, right? And as humans, we like to feel good. But I really wanted to go deeper to explain the link between liking or loving yourself and weight loss, or we could just simply say the link between liking our love or loving ourselves, liking and loving ourselves, just in order to simply maintain habits to be a healthy person in all aspects of our lives, to be able to live a quality life. So keep listening. We're going to dive deep into this so you can understand the importance behind this idea, and then we'll touch on how you start to do this. Hi, everyone. Guess what? I have a lovely discount code just for you, my listeners. The code is 10 off. That's 10OFF, and it will get you 10% off any one of my online courses, which now include Mastering Mindful Eating, Overcome Binge Eating, Overeating, and Emotional Eating for Good. And I also have a course on When You Want to Stop the Weight Loss Medication, a comprehensive guide to weight maintenance and mastery. So if you've maybe lost some weight using a medication and you're now wanting to go off the medication but keep the weight off, this is the course for you. And any course you buy, you keep the course for a minimum of 3 years, maybe longer. It just depends on how many are purchased. All courses are self-paced, and I promise you they are practical, meaning they don't just tell you what you need to do. You actually engage in the skills and strategies needed to make actual lasting behavior change. You learn how to do the what. Okay, all courses have multiple modules with multiple lessons. All include lots of examples, tips, and tricks to make things simple and clear. And you also get lots of downloadable resources, including the daily planning template that I use with my own clients, the exact protocol to use after a binge or an overeat has occurred to minimize its damage on your body and your mind. There are protein cheat sheets, research-based journaling prompts, and the literal how-to checklists on the skill you are learning about. And with the weight maintenance course, you also have a movement module that will help you figure out how to make a movement plan that fits your particular lifestyle and level of fitness. And you also have a natural appetite regulation module. So whether if you have never tried an online course to change behavior, or if you have, I just highly would recommend that you try one of these. I've put my heart and soul into both of them. They are all research-based, and now you can get 10% off. So again, that code is 10OFF. If you're ready to make changes that last, you can go to my website, heatherheynen.com. Heynen is spelled Heynen. And from the main menu, click courses, and it will get you to where you want to go. Or you can click on the links in the episode description below the show. And again, as soon as you're there, when you're ready for checkout, just enter the code 10OFF, 10 off. And just a reminder, I also have an ebook cookbook that is now available. It's called Protein Forward Easy Recipes. It includes all high protein recipes, including breakfast and sweet treats full of protein. and lunches and dinner. Okay, so again, head to my website. It's probably the easiest thing to do, heatherheynen.com. Heinen is spelled Heynen. And from there, go to courses or the cookbook. And again, use code 10OFF at checkout. Okay, so here's the argument I usually get with this. And hear me out here. Typically, this is from a religious take on it, that we shouldn't love ourselves. We need to love and serve others. If we love ourselves, we are bragging, we are boasting, we are too much. No one will like us because we're too big for our britches. That whole kind of messaging that this loving or liking ourselves is somehow this very much, then we're better than everyone else sort of thing. And here's what I always say back. You loving and liking yourself has zero to do with being an asshole. Sorry, I think this podcast is set up for not being explicit, and I was just explicit. Forgive me. I'm really trying to make a point here, and I do swear sometimes when I'm trying to make that point. But loving and liking yourself, again, has zero to do with loving and serving others. I will even push this with some people and go as far as to say, when you love and like yourself, you are way more inclined to give more to others, to serve others more, and to take care of others more. When you love and like yourself, you have a way more to give in terms of energy. And for those of you of maybe some religious backgrounds who were programmed in the idea that loving or liking yourself was somehow sinful or wrong in nature, just a reminder that God himself said, love your neighbor as yourself. As yourself. That is so often what people leave off of that. This means you need to already be loving yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, so when we do the work to like ourselves, and I'm going to keep using the word like here instead of love, as it's a bit less of a leap for a lot of people who actually loathe themselves. So when we do the work to like ourselves, we more effortlessly take better care of ourselves. And this is for one simple reason. It is so much easier to take care of something you love or like. Okay, so really think about this. If you love something or like something, it becomes so much more easy or effortless to really take care of it. You love your kids. It's a no-brainer to take care of their needs. If you finally get to purchase the vehicle that you've always wanted, you've always liked, think about how much better you're going to take care of this car or this vehicle than the old beater you were driving because you love it. You do all the things to keep it spotless. You happily put in all the energy it takes to wash it, vacuum it. These are not fun things, but you happily do it because you like it, you love it. You happily take it in for regular maintenance, right? My point is, when we love or like something, we effortlessly put in the energy to take care of it. It doesn't feel so hard. It doesn't feel like such a chore. So when you like you, when you love you, when you begin believing you are worthy, you are enough, you belong, you find that taking care of you becomes easy and effortless. Eating in nourishing ways, moving your body in ways to take care of it, not overfeeding your body, providing self-care to yourself without guilt. Weight loss always comes down to our behaviors, okay? Ultimately, it is our behaviors that give us our results. And this also, by the way, goes for weight maintenance. But let's remember that when we also, alongside of our behaviors, do the work to like ourselves, to love ourselves, this process actually changes our behaviors from the inside out. Yes, we can work on changing our behaviors from the outside, right? So like making daily plans, maybe it's logging food for a while so we stay mindful for a bit. Maybe it's working to end our binging habit. But alongside these types of behavior strategies, we want to be doing the inside work as well to make our behavior change easier and also long lasting. So that's the why behind liking and loving ourselves for health and well-being and weight loss, if that's your goal. So that is why you want to be doing this work. Okay, so now we need to know the how. How do we actually love or like ourselves, especially when so many of us loathe and hate who we are? The ultimate idea is we need to build a new loving relationship with ourselves. And I want you to think about, how do we as humans build relationships with others? Think about that. If we want to build a relationship with someone, we talk to them with kind and loving words. We ask them questions about themselves. We're curious. We encourage them. We listen with compassion to them. We give to them. We give them time. We give them energy. Okay, so let's ask the question again. How do we build a loving relationship with ourselves? We talk to ourselves with kind and loving words. We ask questions of ourselves. We get curious with ourselves. We encourage ourselves. We listen with compassion to ourselves. We give to ourselves time and energy. We give those things to ourselves. So this is the actual process of learning to like and eventually love yourself, right? Really creating this new relationship with ourselves. And that means we have to use the practicing the compassionate and loving and caring self-talk with ourselves. We have to practice being curious with ourselves. Do the work to build this relationship with yourself. It's probably going to feel awkward at first, and that's okay. You're new to this. Awkward is how it's supposed to feel, but don't drop it. Stick with it through the uncomfortable feelings. Spend the time writing to yourself with compassionate and loving language, or at least language where you can like yourself. Talk to yourself in a way that maybe you were never spoken to as a child, but desperately wanted. Use your own words to heal your own self. If this is really difficult for you, and you've heard this before in past episodes, but then the way to sort of ladder up a little bit, right? Get that next rung on the ladder before you get to the top, is to really use a journal and write letters to yourself. But think of it as you are writing to your best friend or a child who you love, right? Encouraging yourself, motivating yourself, giving yourself loving, kind, compassionate words. But if it's just too hard, then pretend like you are writing to someone you love, okay? And then read through it. This is a way to sort of, like I said, ladder up a little bit, take one step up before you get to the top there. But if it's so uncomfortable for you to use compassionate and loving words with yourself, or to write a letter like that to yourself, then focus on writing it to yourself, but use words that you would say to a child you love, or maybe a pet that you love, okay? So don't give up on this one. It is such a big key to living an authentic, meaningful life. And being in the health and well-being that you want to be experiencing, being in the body you want to be living in. And by the way, the repercussions of you actually learning to love yourself are amazing benefits for you. But let me tell you the part that no one talks about. You loving you actually creates more love for everyone around you, more energy for everyone around you. You loving you makes all your other relationships flourish. You become a blessing to everyone around you. You loving you makes our entire world a better place. I'm not being dramatic here. I really believe that, and it really does. This is not just about you. This is about bringing light and love to our entire world through your own personal work. Don't discount that. You loving you is not just for you. It is for everyone else around you. Okay, if you really, really struggle with this work on your own, obviously, I would recommend a therapist, as I am one, or a coach, to help you move quicker into these spaces. But if you don't have that time or the finances right now, it is an investment. I get it. The online course I talked about at the beginning of this episode has a couple sections in it that work on your thinking patterns, your words with yourself, as well as a future you section that can get you started with this self-healing, self-love journey. All right, thanks for listening today and being here. You are all worthy and you are all enough. Don't forget that one. Did you know you can find a lot more help from me on my website? Go to heatherheynen.com. Heynen is spelled Heynen, and get in touch with questions on all things I offer, like online courses for overeating, weight loss, goal attainment, and also my coaching and counseling services. Just a reminder that this podcast represents my own opinions. The content here should not be taken as medical advice. The content here is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult your doctor or healthcare professional for any individual medical questions you may have.